Have you ever wondered, how does a website go online? When you search something on Google, you can find what you're looking for straight away by clicking on the link. Isn't that amazing? The answer for this would be related to the domain name and web hosting. To put a website or websites online and make it searchable on Google, all you need to do is get a domain name and a web hosting. While domain names serve as your store name, web hosting serves as your store house. And this is a very exciting topic, so without further ado, let's get started. Like I've said, a domain name is a part of a network address that identifies it as belonging to a particular domain. If this is too technical for you, it's basically the first thing your visitors will see. So let's say if your domain name is google.com, for instance, when people search for the keyword Google, the domain name will appear in the search results page. Your visitors will first see your domain name and then the title for your website. In marketing terms, it plays the role of branding. People will always remember your domain name. This is the correct way of branding. Make this domain name the first thing your visitors will remember. It's vital for you to build up your own circle of visitors and eventually your long-term customers. Therefore, choosing the right domain name is a very important thing that you'll need to do. In order to get started, you'll need to buy a domain name in order to own and operate a web page. There are a few domain name marketplaces online, and you can compare the price of each marketplace and pick the one that's nearest to your budget. I'll enter into this subtopic after this. This is the example of a domain name. It's not just limited to a .com. There's more that's available on the internet, such as .net, .me, and so on. Each of the domain name pricing varies depending on the domain name you choose. As promised, here's a list of marketplaces for you to buy your domain names: GoDaddy.com, Namecheap.com, and HostGator.com. These are the three major domain name sellers online. They've been here for a long time, and you don't need to go through the troubles of testing to know whether they're reliable or not. As mentioned, the price of a domain name can be varied depending on the type of domain you choose. For instance, the most commonly used domain will be a .com. This type of domain name is usually a fair price. However, bear in mind that most of the names may be taken by someone else already. You might need a few backup names just in case. If your chosen domain name in .com is taken, you can try a .net or a .me. But usually a .me will be for personal use, such as a personal blog. If you're trying to make an online business, it's not recommended that you take a .me for this. There are various types of domain names available. All you need to do is to search them and take it if it's available. There are a few different types of subscription plans for you as well, and you could subscribe in a monthly or yearly basis. Obviously, the price is different for each plan. Therefore, it's important to plan out your financial budget for this. Go now and take the first step to owning your first online web page. Now that you already know how to get a domain name for your website, the next thing that you'll need to do is to get a web hosting for your store. Web hosting is the activity or business of providing storage space and access for websites. Let's visualize this. After you've registered a name to start a restaurant, the next thing you'll need to do is to look for a shop. The same theory applies here for the internet business as well. Once you've registered your domain name, you'll need to look for storage to upload your contents for the website. In this case, it will be the web hosting. So in conclusion, domain name and web hosting must come together. Since a domain name must come together with a web hosting plan, most of the domain name sellers started to offer the web hosting service as well. GoDaddy, Namecheap, and HostGator did not miss this opportunity to provide you with their hosting service as well. You can buy the web hosting at the same place. There are a few factors that will affect the pricing for web hosting: the amount of websites you'd like to host, the bandwidth of your website, and the web hosting storage. If you're planning to host a few websites now, or maybe in the future, you should take the plan with unlimited hosting. This will be the most recommended for you. The bandwidth of the website relates to the speed of loading for your page. The speed of loading is extremely important. People live a fast-paced life nowadays, and they don't like to wait. Therefore, the bandwidth of your website is a crucial factor that you'll need to take into consideration. Last but not least, the web hosting storage will decide how big your shop is. So be sure how big you want your shop to be. If you're planning to upload larger files to your hosting account, get a larger storage. Planning is indeed a vital factor that will affect which package you'll need. When you know your plan, you can estimate and evaluate which web hosting package is perfect for your plan.